Yeah.
Can I just say something, though? I mean, I know we had the whole thing about the auditions and the celebs, and you two guys are celebrities and are known for your on-camera work, but both of you guys
really good with your voice.
Are fantastic voice performers, to the point that if you didn't have the on-camera thing, I know you guys would work nonstop.
Yeah.
You're brilliant voice actors, and that's why I think it's
Well, no, I have to return the compliment, because when I directed Comic Book the movie, I didn't have much of a budget for the cast. I said,
and you knew voice actors would work for scale.
Well, not only that, but I knew the voice actor community were so brilliant. Yeah. Such great actors, had their roots in theater, in stand-up comedy, in improv, and I knew that they were starved to be on camera. I didn't have any auditions. I would go to the specific performer and say, could you play this part for me? So to return the favor, I mean, I learn at every session I go to, I learn from the performers, and I think I've gotten better at it, but I don't think I'll ever stop learning. I hope not. But you guys were, giants in my world, because I'm a big animation buff, and I was somebody that would set my VCR and freeze frame on those credits where 35 names come up, and freeze frame. So I knew both Maurice and Rob before I ever did an animated project.
Well, that was the biggest thrill for me when I met you. I met you after Pinky and the Brain. You were going in to do a Batman. You were coming across the parking lot, and of course I had that moment that all fans have of what, oh my God, it's Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. Oh my God, he's walking towards me. And you said, Mark, this is Maurice LaMarche. And you went, oh my God, Maurice LaMarche. And I was like, it's got to be kidding. But you knew, and you knew my credits, and you knew the Young Comedian special, because you have an encyclopedic knowledge of this, and you have a library that's unbelievable.
I love to laugh, and you guys have always made me laugh.
More nice weather. Drat! Tornado season is almost over. We must find a storm quickly. Stop it, Pinky.
But I thought we were supposed to be impersonating ragtag, free-spirited storm chasers. You know, men who risk danger for the love of tornado data. Wouldn't they blow bubbles through a straw to show how free-spirited they were?
And one of the things I think that, should be talked about is the investment that you make doing voice acting. The difference in terms of voice acting versus on camera, in the sense that people throw themselves so fully into it, and it's committing all of yourself into the mic, and I don't think that people realize the nature of the work or how difficult it is to do as well as you guys do it.
You can be less inhibited because there's like that whole side that you don't have to worry about. What does this look like? What do I do with my hands? Or whatever it is. And you can just go be about the performance.
It's very liberating in a way.
Throw yourself completely into that microphone. I mean, I've heard things come out of you.
Wayne comes up with sounds not found in nature. I'm telling you,
it's amazing. You've got a third vocal cord or something.
It hurts me, frankly, but I...
Well, tell me, when you approach a role on camera versus, or a role for voiceover versus an on-camera role, how do you guys approach it differently? Is it different?
You will set the tone. You'll say, for Batman, for instance, I want acting like you'd have on CSI or a dramatic network show. Don't make it cartoony. Or there's the reverse, where you go into Powerpuff Girls and you're playing a crab who sounds like James Cagney. You know, how serious can you be?
You got that?
I heard you were up for that.
6 callbacks.
But I just find it, I tend to glamorize things in my mind because I love the history of show business so much, so Broadway means a lot to me. When I do animation, not only do I think about the great people that came before me, but I think about the golden age of radio, which we're all too young to have been a part of. And sometimes our actors like Bob Hastings, who played Archie on the Archie Andrews radio show, will tell us stories. But when you have something as well written as Pinky and the Brain or something, and people that are that gifted, that just get in there and they hit the ice full tilt, it's awesome. I mean, it just takes your breath away.
My first song is about a certain type of mouse. He's a fighter. A mouse who, just when you think he's down for the count, dares to get back up and fight for his dream. Because in this crazy, cuckoo, knocked out, groovy, nutty, mixed up world, my friends, your dreams are all you have got. Yes, plans, I've made a few, but I'm not through. I am tenacious. I'll do what I must do to take the world, but I'll be gracious. My plan will soon unfurl, and I won't fail. Citizen Kane's way, and oh, one thing is clear, you'll do it Brain's way.
Well, it's ultimately, bottom line, all about the acting. I mean, regardless of whether it's a celebrity or a rank and file actor.
It's the great equalizer. It's like repertory theater.
Exactly. It's all about the acting. But what I have found, energy-wise, the actors that seem to flow into voiceover most easily are those that have had either radio credits or Broadway stage credits.
Yeah.
Because that energy seems to be translated better into animation because film actors and TV actors strictly tend to work much smaller.
Well, I mean, you see that, like, I did a Shakespeare reading recently with some film actors who are not stage actors, and they were
isn't that?
And you're like, give me life! Give me life!
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the idea of pitching it to the medium you're in. In other words, you're doing a show. I mean, I did a show in a 199-seat house that's going to be different than if you're at the Belasco and it's 1,200 seats or something like that. Right. So I think we have an ability to adapt to the medium we're in. But
that's also like when you're talking about doing voice versus doing other medium. If you're doing realistic film, if you're doing television, if you're doing voice, if you're doing stage, each one has kind of a different pot on the dial.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
And it's just a matter of learning, you know, where it is for
what
you.
reality are we in?
Is sitcom much like theater playing? And
Sitcom is kind of like a little bit more elevated than film acting in terms of tone, it seems to me, but not as much as theater. I mean, you do have an audience, but you also have a camera that's broken the fourth wall and is intimate with you. So you're not really small because you're going for a joke and you're trying to actually land a joke and hold a joke like you would if you were on stage.
What is it, Brain?
Call it a harbinger of the apocalypse, but I have come up with a world domination plan inspired by Cher.
Oh, Brain! You mean we're going to be married to Greg Orman? For 3 weeks?
No, Pinky. Something far less painful.
What I found very refreshing about the animation world is it was like going back to theater school where they really drummed into you that repertory ethic of, yes, you're the star in this show, but then you're going to be the butler number two in the show, and I think that's very healthy. It goes to the essence of why I love performing, and I thought it was really helpful to me to discover that about myself, because you could, if you had expectations or a sense of entitlement and you have great success in other areas, it'd be hard to adjust, you'd think. I felt it like jumping into the deep end of a pool, and it was a shock and it was a thrill.
It's refreshing.
And I just was hoping that I would be able to keep up with you guys.
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain. But Tuesday Weld isn't a complete sentence.